I've been getting asked in many of my videos if I have changed my monitor, and I understand why that is, because I have raved and praised my Corsair Xenon Flex massive monitor. But yes, you all are right. You have been seeing me use the new BenQ EX32IUX 4K gaming monitor. But I'm not sure just yet if I can say I have changed my monitor, as I have been testing this quite a bit in the background. But throughout this video, we'll kind of catch on and see if I am going to change to the new BenQ 4K or stick to my tried and true Corsair Xenon Flex massive monitor. Now, as many of you know out there, when I cover monitors, I don't sit here and talk about specs and all this other stuff. There's many great channels out there or websites like Artings or Monitors Unboxed. They do great coverage on this stuff. I like just talking about a user's experience. Coming from a gamer, my time using it, how is it actually performing for me? But I will throw the core specs up on a screen just so you can see those, with it being a mini LED 4K monitor with HDR 1000, 700 nits, 99% DCI-3, Adobe RGB, 144 Hertz, 1 millisecond graded gray. So as far as the core specs, you can see it's packing a pretty good punch. But as I stated, how does it actually perform and how is it using on the daily? Now, the first thing I did notice getting this monitor out of the box is the build quality. There's like a lot of excess play within it. It is a thicker monitor. Again, it's not OLED and super thin, but it's just one thing I noticed is the amount of flex, which you're not going to be sitting here pressing on the monitor. But again, it was just a weird first impression. But as I stated, it is a pretty thick monitor, coming just a pinch over 1 inch on the side, but when I come up to the top, we're just close to 2 inches. So again, it is pretty thick. But as far as all your connections on the back, as you see, you have your power port, you have 3 HDMIs with your eARC over here, you have your display port, 2 USB-Cs and 2 USB-As, and they're all very easy to access. As you see, your stand's gonna connect up there, and then it comes right through here, so you're not trying to route anything around or behind the stand. I really like this layout. And as far as your stand, it is one of those easy connect. Just snap it down and then you can simply release it like that. If you were to VESA mount it, the screws are inside. Now, as far as your controls underneath the monitor here, you have your power button, you have your little joystick, which will navigate through the menus later, your shortcut button. Over here, you have a 3.5 port to plug a headset in, which is a built-in DAC into this headset. We'll talk about that later. You have a USB-A and another USB-C. And once we have the stand installed, I think it looks gorgeous. Of course, you're not going to be looking at your monitor from the backside, but it doesn't scream gamer, you know? It can kind of be that productivity or gamer type vibe, almost Alienware kind of vibe, just toned down with the gamer side. Anyways, that's cosmetic. You're not going to be looking from behind, but I think it looks great. But as far as adjustability and movement, you can see it goes all the way down, pretty much down to the stand there. Goes plenty high. You got your angling to the right and left here. And then you also have tilt up and tilt down. So now let's go ahead and dive into actually using and dailying this monitor. And I want to talk about it as it is right now before we even turn it on, as it does have that matte screen. And I have my window open right there. I have a massive light right there. I have a pretty big light over there. And then my ceiling fan light, which has 4 bulbs running. You're seeing no glare off it. Now you can see me kind of bouncing off it a little bit there, but you'll notice whenever you turn it on, you don't really see that. It's not an issue in a bright room or a dark room. So let's go on and turn it on, and it's going to be that power button right underneath there, which I will tell you, it's a little bit annoying because I can't really pinpoint it sometimes. I wish the power button was dedicated right there because you got those buttons all jumbled there. I don't know, that's just nitpicking. It's just something I always caught myself. Okay, where is the power button? So now that we have the monitor on, I wanna bring you through the menus. And I'm actually gonna be navigating through these with the remote, which you can also do with that little knob on the bottom that I showed you down there, the little joystick. But I love how BenQ does the remote. As you see, you can control your volume, your brightness, HDR, game mode, all your basic settings right through this remote. I wish every monitor would have a remote. So okay, loading back into this menu, showing you your on-screen display down here, and you can see, again, basic settings. You got scenario delta, you got your display port, gamer 2, and then coming over here, you have your color mode where you can go into custom. Again, these are ones that I preset, like Gamer 3. I don't know if you guys can see it very well in the camera, but it gets a little dark. It's kind of what I use for Diablo. And coming over here, you got light tuner, color vibrance, brightness. I'm going to talk a lot about this. As you see, I got it cranked down to 40, so stay tuned for that. Shadow, BI plus, gamma, contrast, going down here, color temperature, and again, just your basic color settings, which again, you can save each different setting as 3 gamer modes there. You have your eye care, audio, which you got your output, eARC, which I showed you on the back there. And then you got your headphone, volume, audio mode, gain, and mute. I'm going to talk a lot about this later on, especially that gain bit right there. And then coming over here to input, you have your quick menu, which again is that other button I showed you on the bottom, and then your system as far as on-screen display, FPS counter, crosshair, power off, and then LED indicator, basic settings as far as the monitor. Now another cool feature controlling the settings through the monitor, as you just saw, controlling your core settings, your volume and such, but you can actually come down here and press the little game controller. Press that, it'll pop up with your FPS counter in the top right. Press it again, and you can get it up top here, showing your basic core settings, what HDR you're running, how many hertz you're getting, and FreeSync if it's on or off. So really cool, just a quick press that. The other thing I really like is you can control your HDR if you have it on here and cycle through HDR profiles. I have HDR off. Again, we'll talk more about that when we talk about gaming. But over here, you can also talk about your audio and click that right there. As far as the EQ, you got standard, cinema, and surround. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the juicy stuff. And I want to start with the audio, plugged right into that 3.5 jack. Y'all know audio is my jam. That is my passion, right? Of course, I love visuals, which we will get into the visuals of this monitor, but I want to talk about the audio pumping through this. So anyways, I'm running my Corsair Virtuoso Pros here, the open back ones, and I'm just going to unmute this, and we're just going to run around and just shoot the weapon a little bit here, and I'm going to show you something, okay? So we got that off. You can see the volume's cranked up, so I want you guys to be able to hopefully hear as much as you can coming from a microphone that's right here. So let's go on up here a little bit. Let's find some enemies. Again, hopefully you guys can hear. I'll pull it even a little bit closer to me. Where's all the enemies? Okay, of course when I need to find enemies, I can't. I just leveled up from doing nothing. Oh, there's some enemies. Okay, we'll join this mission. So you're hearing this right now. It's decent. Okay, let me get over here. Oh, mission complete. Perfectly. So you're hearing it right there. It's decent, but let me tell you, when it's on your head, all the detail and immersion, it's kind of softened up a little bit. It's what you'd expect plugging in a pair of headphones or headset into a monitor. It's exactly what you'd expect. But what I want to do is come down here. We're going to go into the menu, and I want you to do this. If you get this monitor, do this definitely if you're plugging any sort of audio into that 3.5. Come down here to audio, go down to headphones, come to gain, and come over here and switch it to high. Press yes because it's going to give you a warning. It's going to let you know, watch out, you know, your ear protection, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so let's get in here. I want to start another mission. Well, here, let me just unmute it while we're running around. Same volume, 50. And already, you just hear so much more of that environment. Those birds just tweeting, the music and everything. I mean, good mercy. Okay, where's some enemies? Let's find some enemies here. I don't got to start up another mission, do I? Let's see. Let me get some this on them. There we go. Gosh, I mean, let me tell you what. I mean, it sounds so good. I want to find some more enemies. Again, when I crank up the volume here, you just feel that immersion. You hear it. There's some more enemies. Let's get these few, and then I'll stop here. But again, once I crank this volume up, it just sounds so... Just hearing that reload, even the gunshots in the distance, playing First Descendants here. I mean, it's unbelievable how great this sounds once you boost that gain up to high. So again, I just wanted to share that. If you get this and you're running 3.5, make sure to push that gain on the high. All right, so now I want to jump into Diablo 5 and show you a couple things. Let me turn this light off over here so it'll stop brightening up that side of the screen. I still got my other basic lights on here and everything. And again, we're in Diablo 5 on my basic setting. I believe this is sci-fi or something, which again, you can go in here to menu and then again adjust whatever base. You got sci-fi, realistic, fantasy. You can see the difference that they're changing up right there. But what I usually used is when I went into here, cycled up to gamer, like custom. When we were playing the First Descendants, we were in custom. I like my colors being a little bit more vibrant in that game. But the cool thing over here. And as you can see, we have this Color Shuttle app loaded up, which is pretty much going to give you some preset settings for some of your favorite games, which you can go down here and actually click on this and download a couple more, accept, and you see you got some other games you can choose from right there. I'm sure more will be coming, but the ones I got is Destiny and Diablo, but I really want to show you in the Diablo one here. So if we click on this, you can download it and save it to whichever one you want. We'll save it to Gamer 3, confirm, okay, and now it's going to set it right to it. Just in the colors, and you're going to see it load up here in a second. Hopefully you can actually tell the difference. So let's go on and close that app down. So now that it went black, it might be harder for you to tell the difference, but what I want you to look at is like the greens over here, the footsteps, and again, that light coming out of it, and just the detail of the outfit where you can see the reds, the greens, the yellows. It's really something special. And if I come down here, we'll cycle through some other ones just so you can see. So we were on this before, where now it looks a little bit washed out. Coming over here to Gamer 2, it definitely looks a little bit darker. Coming here to Game 3, it's just like amazing how true it looks and how good it looks. Like this is exactly what I would want Diablo to look like. Like look at the blues and the pinks and then the oranges over there, the different colors of the little candles. It's just the detail of the ground is amazing. Just all of the detail looks so darn good. I mean, I just can't say it enough here. Like, I want to sit here and nerd out and just stare at this. It's like beautiful. It's like a postcard. I want to take screenshots. Everything's separated and looks true. It's exactly what I would want my game to look like. And why that really blows me away is I'm usually not a preset kind of person. I like getting there and tweaking mine, dabbling with a little bit. Even same with audio, you know what I mean? Audio and visuals, like it in my settings. Your settings could be completely different. Heck, you may not like this actually. But anyways, it just looks picture perfect straight out of the settings. As we're talking about those preset colors and everything, I want to show you something else as well. We are now in Destiny and I still have that Diablo preset in here, which, yeah, the colors look great. Like just look at that purple back there, up there, the planet, that red, pinkish, the yellow, like everything is just crisp and sharp as we got an event loading up, which is why everything's going dark right now. But the other thing that I want you to see is, again, the blacks. Like right here in the weapon, some of the details of the weapon are just totally just blacked out, just super dark, which again, in these kind of games, I kind of want my environment or my game to be a little bit brighter. So let me go on and close that down here, and we're going to load up that color app again and do this live here together. So let me get that out. Where is our app? Do I still got to open down here? No, I don't. All right, so now that I got the color shuttle loaded back up here, let's go into Destiny. We're going to set that. Let's go and set it to Gamer 2. This is the one I was using before at first with First Ascendance, Diablo, Gamer 2, confirm. Confirm, it's going to go black, and then load those presettings in there. We're just going to see the difference. So, all right, let it do its thing. Let's close that out. Apply. Okay. Get back into our game. And this is where it kind of falls apart a bit, because in Destiny, I do not like the presets. Like, it just, again, darkens things up even more and doled out that purple in the back. I would say the colors are softer and maybe a little bit more true. Like the yellow over here, you kind of got that rustic vibe, so it's not really as vibrant as before. So again, just to solidify my point here, again, we're on Gamer 2, which is the Destiny one, and you can see the colors are definitely softer, maybe more realistic type vibe. If you look at like the yellows there, up at that pinkish red, and especially that purple. But when we come in here and we go down to even the Diablo one again, like just look at that purple. Look how much more vibrant it is. I don't know. I personally like my colors really vibrant. I'm playing a video game. I don't need to feel like it's realistic. But if we come up here to custom, which is one that I use quite a bit, it's kind of like that medium ground. Like look how nice that yellow is. Again, it's more of a darker, true yellow. We still got that red and pink popping up there. Purple's not as solid and true, but it's still there, right? It looks really good. Like our weapon looks a little washed out. That would be the biggest thing I would say. But you also, again, have the presets. So if we go down here and cycle through, you got sci-fi. Let's get right here so you get a mixture of colors. Realistic, which is pretty nice, middle ground as well. Fantasy is dark, cinema, again, kind of dark right there. But the other thing I want to show you here is the brightness of this monitor. So anyways, you got this little button right here on the remote for brightness. You can see it's set to 57 right now, which I usually keep it pretty low. I'm going to go ahead and crank it up to 100, which it does do on some of the presets right there, which does pull out some of the other colors. But My goodness, especially when let me go over here to the main screen here. Like when we load up into Windows or something, oh my gosh, it is so bright. Like, let me just close this down here. Close the window down. It is ridiculously bright. Like if you're coming here, especially if it's dark or whatever, oh my gosh, it hurt my eyes. It was so bright. So me personally, I caught myself keeping the brightness honestly all the way down into the 40s just to make it manageable to use. It was that darn bright. Now on the other hand, as far as performance being 144 hertz running 4K, I am still only running a 4070 Ti, so again, performance is a struggle for me anyways, but staying around 100 frames, maybe a pinch above in the first descendants. I had my settings on high, and it was butter smooth. I never noticed that blur. I don't play competitive FPS by any means, and I think 4K really isn't in that competitive FPS space just yet. I think it'd be a while for that, honestly, but for the games I'm playing, Diablo, Destiny, First Descendants, it is butter stinking smooth, like almost OLED butter. Now on a side note, talking about the brightness, how it really affected me, as you saw in the menu, you have that BI plus, which we'll go in here right now and we'll click it on. The BI plus, which is brightness intelligence, which you can set it on and it will automatically adjust the brightness of your monitor. And it works. Like right now, you can see it just dimmed it down a little bit there, but I don't like that in my games because if I'm swapping game to game, then it just throws off my color variation that I actually have set on there. So it's not something I use, but that is an option if it does affect you quite a bit as well. So now that we had a good look over of this monitor, I want to get back to the question I asked in the beginning of the video. Will this be my new monitor, as you guys have been seeing it there? Will this replace my Corsair XenoFlex, that massive bendable OLED monitor that's only 1440p? But this could be that 4K sweet spot, right? Where you're not spending the 4K or the OLED money. Well, maybe you are, because that's another fall off for this monitor. It is $1,400. That massive Corsair one I use, regular MSRP is around $2,000, but right now you can get it for like $1,200, $1,300, which is an absolute steal because that monitor is amazing. So you can look at, okay, I'm getting 4K here. Well, I'm getting OLED over there. That's only 1440p. So what is the trade-off? I don't know. That can only depend on you. Me personally, I am an OLED junkie now, but 4K is again an experience of its own. And this monitor is packing so much. It is seriously packing a punch, but not for the price tag. I would like to see this monitor at $800, and then I would think it would be like, yeah, go off and get it right now. But of course, I'd like every product to be cheaper. I don't know the manufacturer and all the stuff put in it, how much it cost, but I'm just talking about in the competition, in the space right now, I feel like this is overpriced a little bit compared to, again, other monitors out there. So for me, I'm going back to my massive Corsair Xenon Flex. I just love how absolutely big it is. My conclusion on the BenQ monitor is wait for it to get marked down a little bit, catch it on a good deal, and then I think it will be a fantastic buy.